Nancy made a couple quick improvements to the cutting process in face frames. She improved the catching fence on their upcut saw so that pieces of wood do not catch on the opposite table when sliding them into position to cut. She also added some simple measurement lines on the table for quick referencing so she doesn't have to pull out the measuring tape to check lengths and determine what cut sizes they are suitable for. Cody realized how annoying it can be to acquire black putty when needed. You first have to open the can, which often requires a separate tool to do so. Next, you have to grab a blob of putty out with your finger. Just having the lid open gradually begins to cause the rest of the putty to dry out, which then requires more work to re-soften periodically until the can is expended. Bits of putty often collect inside the lid groove on top of the can, which makes it difficult to close the lid tightly, which often results in putty drying out as well. This requires extra motion to clean out the grooves of the can just to get the lid back on. So much struggle. By using an inexpensive and disposable caulk gun tube, the putty can be dispensed easily when needed, and put back in its home without any of the other hassle of working out of a can. And molding and finish work together to promote the improvement of the Kanban system for material on the ramp. Most of the material did not have a Kanban process included with it. This means that Alan just had to remember to look for bins that are getting low, and take the time to write it down on his to-do list so he didn't forget. A Kanban card, when used correctly, makes it as simple as grabbing it out of the envelope when he sees it during regular routine stops on the ramp. He can then take the card with him and fill the order without having to write anything down. It also removes the struggle of having to take time assessing different bins in order to determine which bins need to be restocked and which ones don't. Not to mention the reduced risk of people having to wait on material if the need to restock the items slip by unnoticed. And Peter and Josiah have also implemented improved Kanban systems for posts and other items to help initiate restock actions at the perfect time. Kanbans can be a great way to determine when a new product needs to be made for downstream processes because they eliminate the need to personally check stock levels, write down or re-enter order information when more stock is needed, or go through the hassle of trying to find the right person in order to place the restock order. The better we get at using Kanbans, the better we can automate every process. If you noticed from our video 2 weeks ago, places like FastCap are run entirely on Kanban signals, which can have the potential to simplify processes significantly. And Mike in assembly has taken just a few seconds to make a simple improvement that can save everyone the time of having to pick up items that fall behind the counter. Just another reminder that improvements don't have to be extravagant or take a lot of time to implement. They just need to remove a little waste, and when combined together, over time, you'll be amazed to find out just how much waste has been eliminated. So keep on thinking of those ways to improve something, even if it's only by 2 seconds.
Some people like facts and figures, others like inspiration. If you like both, then this one's for you. Every year, the Society for Human Resource Management publishes the results of a study called the Employee Job Satisfaction and Engagement Report. It shows what employees care about, what they think is going well and not too well, how engaged they are at work, and what they'd like to see go differently within the next year. You might be surprised to learn that 88% of employees, which is almost 9 out of 10, say that they're satisfied or extremely satisfied with their job, and 85% say they're happy with their employer. But 45% of employees, nearly half, will choose to look for a new job within the next year. That's one of the 3 biggest challenges that employers face: turnover, people leaving. The other 2 are employee engagement and succession planning, or being able to choose the next generation of leaders and managers. Notice how all 3 of the biggest issues employers face are employee related, not sales, not shipping or quality control or competition. And did you notice that all 3 stem from the same issue? Employees aren't satisfied, even though 9 out of 10 say they are. There are 3 kinds of employees: engaged, disengaged, and actively disengaged. So what percentage of the population fits into each category? Well, let's first define what each category looks like. So first up, the engaged employee. This is the person who is dependable, not just for their job, but even for those things that are out of the norm. This is the employee who is an absolute just rock star, the one who all of the other employees respect and looked up to. This is the guy or gal who trains other people, who listens, who offers advice to everyone, but not annoyingly so. These are the people who care about the business as if it was their own business, and the employees as if they were actual family. So what percentage of workers are engaged? Drum roll, 13%. Yup, about 1 in 10 is an engaged employee. And that includes people like neurosurgeons and air traffic controllers. Scary, huh? So the odds are pretty good that most of us fall into one of the next two categories: disengaged or actively disengaged. What's a disengaged employee look like? They say things like, "I work hard every single day," or "I'm always on time. When was the last time I was late? I always do what I'm told and accomplish everything you've ever asked of me." Fair enough. Sounds like a good employee, right? But shouldn't an employer be able to expect all of those things anyway? This is where most of us fall in line. We do our job, we take some pride in it and put in the hours. But for most of us, we're really just doing what needs to be done so that we can collect a paycheck and feel good enough about it, the effort that we've put into our work. So what percentage of employees are disengaged? No drum roll this time, 63%. That's almost 2 out of 3 employees. They keep a business alive, but it's not really going to grow that much. And for all of you math majors out there who are already a step ahead of me, you guessed it. 24%, or roughly 1 out of 4 employees, are actively disengaged. What's that look like? These are the folks who take extra long breaks, use the company credit card for personal use. They're rude or disrespectful to fellow employees and customers. They waste company supplies. They take more sick days than they need to. Even if they aren't directly trying to sabotage the company and undermine the efforts of everyone else, they're still undercutting the business and everyone who works there. So what's missing in our lives? Why aren't we all engaged employees? I guess you have to watch the next lesson to find out.
Do you want a chance to win one of 10 $25 cash prizes, or the grand prize, which is a choice between a Leatherman Free P4 or a food processor by KitchenAid? This Leatherman is a great example of how tiny improvements can continue to improve something that may already seem to be quite perfect. We love magnets because they have helped us implement many of our 2-second improvements, and Leatherman has seen their value as well, implementing them beautifully to fine-tune features on this new tool series to make all 21 tools easily accessible with one hand, to save you more than 2 seconds and keep one hand free to accomplish tasks easier every time you need it. All it takes to enter is to click on the link located in the description of this video or the Almoxy and text message announcements. Answer a simple question related to the video, submit, and you're done. If you're not watching on a PC or a handheld device, you can scan the QR code later with your phone located on any department cycle sheet. If you do not have access to a phone or a computer, you can also submit this form on most any computer terminal. Locate this icon on the desktop, click, and go.